Hello my dear students, welcome back to Aditya Tutorials. I am Rahul and in this video I am going to explain the Henry's law. The Henry's law tells us that the effect of pressure, this is effect of pressure on the solubility of gas in the liquid. Solubility of gas in the liquid phase. Now take an example here. Here is a container and in this container I filled with the water. This is the level of water or any type of solvent I am taking. Solvent. And now there are some gas molecules above the solvent. I'll number it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Out of the 8, there may be some gas molecules are soluble in solvent and forming a solution here. And now I change this with the piston. The piston is introduced here. Now, very important thing is here in this, one molecule, that is a gas molecule, get dissolved in the solvent. At the same time, the other gas molecule which is present in the solvent leave the solvent. And this is a dynamic process continues and establish here an equilibrium. And this equilibrium, you will be wonder that this is the equilibrium is exist between the gas molecule which is present above the solvent and the gas molecules which are soluble or dissolved in the solvent or in the solution. So therefore I am going to write here the gas molecules above the surface have equilibrium with the gas molecules in solution. Okay, this is an equilibrium or particularly a dynamic equilibrium. Now just I do one thing, I just push this piston downwards. Let's see what happens. So the same container I will take and that is separated by a boundary here, that is this is a water layer or solvent. Okay, so here I have the gas molecules. These gas molecules are very close to each other because the piston is moved downwards. And number of gas molecules in this remains same, that's a 2. Now just make an observation here students. तो यहाँ पे जो gas molecules है, they are present in high pressure. It means that volume is decreased. So when volume is decreased, the concentration, the gas molecule in this section get increased. Concentration of gas phase increased. Now see what is happening here. When these gas molecules are near to each other and also near to the surface of the solvent, and they start interacting with the solvent, and the gas molecule get dissolved in the solvent. And by that we get one more illustration here. This is the same container containing water or any kind of solvent, and the piston position remains the same here, that is compressed. But you check the number of gas molecules present here. Some gas molecules get dissolved. And my question is, what about the pressure here? The pressure remains the same because volume is here decreased. The concentration in this case is increased. but the gas molecule get dissolved in the solvent. Here the pressure depends upon the number of gas molecules above the surface area of this solvent. But the gas molecules are entering into a solvent, the concentration of gas molecule decreases, and because of that reason the pressure in this compartment is also decreased. Okay, and one more thing we have to notice here, that the concentration of gas molecules in the solvent increases, means the concentration of gas molecules increases in the solution. Ultimately, we can conclude here that whatever the gas molecules are dissolved in the solution, they are due to increase in the pressure. Okay, therefore the pressure, or particularly if these only gas molecule we are considering, then the partial pressure of gas, if it is increase, then concentration of gas molecules in the solution increases. So here, if there is increase in the partial pressure of the gas, the concentration of gas molecules in the solution is also increased. Okay, now one more point we have to introduce here. In the beginning, there is an equilibrium. When you apply a force on this piston, the piston move downwards, and by that the concentration of gas molecules here increase due to volume is decreased here. When the gas molecules concentration above the liquid surface it is increased, in that case the molecules start dissolving in a solvent. So why they are dissolving in a solvent? What is the requirement? The requirement is to establish the re-equilibrium. So here there is a re-equilibrium is established, or re-equilibrium. Re-equilibrium because this is accordance with the Le-Chatelier's principle. According to that, if any system is subjected to change in one of the physical quantity, like here the pressure, we change the pressure in this compartment, and system is changed in such a way that it nullifies the change in the pressure. And how it changes the pressure? By dissolving the gas molecules into the solvent, and by that the gas molecule numbers are decreased here, and the pressure is also decreased, and again pressure remains same here. Now I'll explain here. Now assume that here the pressure is P1 in this compartment, but the pressure in this compartment it is a P2. When P1 is there is an equilibrium is established. Check the concentration. The gas molecules above the liquid surface, the gas molecules are more, but in the solution the gas molecules are less. But when the pressure is increased, the system is imbalanced down. The system is adjusted in such a way that the effect of increase in the pressure should be nullified, and because of that reason the gas molecules concentration which is more at the surface of the solvent get immersing into the solvent. You can see here the gas molecules are increased in the solvent or in the solution, but here the gas molecules are decreased. We know that the pressure is directly proportional to the number of gas molecules. As the number of gas molecules decreased here, the pressure is also decreased, and by that the re-equilibrium is established between the gas which is present above the liquid surface or the gas molecules present in the solution. So this is the basic for the Henry's law. We'll see the statement of Henry's law. Let's see. The statement of the Henry's law can be given like here. The solubility of gas is directly proportional to the partial pressure of the gas above the solution. Partial pressure of the gas above the solution. So this is quite interesting that if the solubility of gas is expressed in terms of that whatever the amount of gas is soluble in a solution, if it is expressed in its mole fraction, the solubility, we are going to express it into the mole fraction in the solution. Okay. Henry's law can be stated as mole fraction of gas That is, instead of solubility, we use here mole fraction of gas in the solution is directly proportional to partial pressure of the gas which is present above the solution. So therefore, mole fraction is given by the xi. So therefore, xi is equal to, or we take a proportionality constant here. So therefore, xi is proportional to or directly proportional to partial pressure. And now we can change it, or pressure, that is a partial pressure above the that solution. The partial pressure of the gas above the solution is directly proportional to mole fraction of the gas in the solution. So this can be made equals to, that partial pressure is equal to Kh into xi. This equation itself is called as a Henry's law or Henry's equation, where the Kh is very important term here. The Kh is a constant. And xi is a mole fraction of gas in the solution. And the P is the partial pressure above the solution. This is a partial pressure of gas above the solution, student. Let's see some other parameter related to the Henry's law. The Kh value is dependent on the unit of concentration we use. That is, depends upon unit of concentration and pressure. The Kh value tell us that the how much amount of gas is soluble in a solution or in the solvent. Therefore, Henry's law applicable for the following conditions. Therefore, I am going to write here conditions for Henry's law. So here few conditions are there. We will list out them. The first condition is that the pressure should not be too high. Means the pressure should be very low. I am going to write here low pressure. What happens when there is a high pressure is there? At the high pressure, the gas molecule may converts into liquids and solubility increase drastically. So therefore, the process, or you can say that this law is applicable only at the low pressures. Second one, that is, the temperature should not be very high. It means it requires low temperature. And next one is the gas should not be highly soluble. Gas should be less soluble or sparingly soluble. And lastly, that is, here the gas molecules do not undergo dissociation. The gas molecules do not dissociate, students. And even you can add one more point, that these gas molecules do not react with the solvent. Okay, that is also you can include here. But thing is that these are the 4 important conditions for the Henry's law to apply on the solubility of gas in a solution or in the liquid. There should be a low pressure because the gas may liquefy and get highly soluble. Low temperature because at the high temperature the gas molecule gain a kinetic energy, and by that the solubility of gas decreased in a solution. The gas should be a sparingly soluble, means the solubility of gas should be less. And here the gas molecules do not dissociate. When we are talking about the dissociation, whenever the gas molecule they dissociate, it means that they are reacting with the solvent. That should not happen actually. Let's move to the one particular observation, Henry's law applicable for HCl and ammonia. Here one important observation of Henry's law for the solubility of HCl and ammonia in 2 options. One side we take a benzene and other side we take here water. We'll see what happens. Assume that this is a container And in this container, we had taken the benzene. This is the layer of the benzene. Here I write, this is benzene. Okay, and I will take one more container. So here we taken a water, H2O. I will take the gas molecules. The one side I will take the HCl. The pink molecules are HCl molecules. And the yellow molecules are ammonia molecules, that is NH3. The same thing I'm going to write here. Okay, these molecules are HCl. And these yellow molecules are ammonia, that is NH3. Okay, now we will see some observations here. In this, the both gas molecules, that is HCl and ammonia, are sparingly soluble in a benzene. Means both gases sparingly soluble. Means very small amount of the HCl and the ammonia molecules are soluble in a benzene. Okay, come to this point. In this, both the gases, that is HCl and ammonia, are highly soluble. Both gases are highly soluble. And in these two cases, the Henry's law is applicable for this condition, where the both gases are sparingly or less soluble. But the Henry's law is not applicable for this condition where both the gases are highly soluble in water. But the question comes that, why the Henry's law is not applicable in this case? Why we are applying here? Because in the second case, that is HCl and ammonia when added to the water, they are not solubling or they are not dissolving due to its partial pressure. They are soluble because of the chemical reaction. So in this, these two gas molecules are soluble due to the partial pressure. Let's see what actually happens here. Assume that here I have ammonia, that is NH3. When it reacts with water or interact with water, it forming a molecule called as NH4OH. And this NH4 molecule is split up into NH4 plus and OH minus. And around these, the gas molecules are, around these, the water molecules are surrounding. Similarly, when HCl react with water or interact with water, it form here H3O plus, and here we get Cl minus. And these ions are surrounded by a water molecules again. And therefore, these two molecules are highly soluble in a water. Therefore, the Henry's law is not applicable for this. But here the Henry's law applicable because both the gases are soluble due to the partial pressure of these gases above the solvent or the solution. Now there is very interesting part is there, Henry's law and mixture of gases. So here consider one container. This is a large container, and in this container I am taken a solvent. This is the solvent layer, and I will take two gas molecules here. The one type of gas molecule is represented as yellow. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 gas molecules are there. The other type are represented by pink. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 gas molecules. I take an equal number of gas molecules. But I have one observation that in this case, the gas B or the gas A, I will refer here, this pink color gas is called as a gas B, and the yellow color gas is called as gas A. Okay, now the gas B is more soluble here. We'll take a gas B, that is a pink color. Here 2, 3, 4, 5 gas molecules. And out of that, yellow have only 2 gas molecules. My question is that why the gas molecules, that is the gas B, is more soluble here? Why not A? Even though here the number of gas molecules are same. And that is due to the partial pressure of the gas. That is due to the partial pressure of the gas. What do we have? According to the Henry's law, solubility of any gas is directly proportional to its own partial pressure. Right, students? So because of that reason, we can conclude here the partial pressure of B is greater than the partial pressure of A. Hence, here the B molecules are more soluble, as compared to yellow. They are less soluble. Okay, students. So this is all about the partial pressure. If any gas having a greater partial pressure means its concentration in the solution is also higher. Let's see one particular application of Henry's law on this concept, that is a partial pressure concept. Here I have a container. This is a very large container, and in this I added a water. This is the layer of water, H2O. And in this layer, there are some ammonia molecules are soluble. These are the ammonia molecules. I want to remove the ammonia molecules. There are two methods. One, you can heat it. By heating the gas molecules, the ammonia molecule gain a kinetic energy, they can escape out. But we can use here another method. In that method, we are using some other gas. Okay, take an example here. In this, I introduce a pipe. Like here. And through this pipe, I will pass the nitrogen gas. When nitrogen gas is bubbled, so like here, the nitrogen gas is bubbling here. When the nitrogen gas is bubbled, the ammonia molecule gets soluble in the nitrogen gas. Means these nitrogen gas molecules, when create a bubble, in that ammonia gas molecules are more soluble in a nitrogen gas bubble. So why it is happening so? Because a very interesting point is the partial pressure in this bubble, it is the nitrogen gas, N2 gas bubble. In that, if there is NH3 molecule is present, it experiencing or it producing zero partial pressure. And therefore, from the water, that is NH3, if it is a water molecule, this molecule, NH3 molecule, it is in the water, then it is readily move into the bubble created by nitrogen gas. Because in that the partial pressure is zero, this NH3 molecule easily enter into the nitrogen gas bubble. Therefore, ammonia can be removed from the aqueous solution by bubbling the nitrogen gas into it. Okay, so NH3 is whatever the NH3 which is soluble in water in the aqueous medium, it is carried away by the, here I can write, the NH3 molecules are carried away by N2 bubbles. So this is one of the that application of Henry's law, in that if there is a difference in the partial pressure of the gas, then we can use this method. Okay, students, this is all about the Henry's law and its concepts. Let's see one problem on the Henry's law. The problem is given like this. So here the solubility of pure oxygen in a water at constant temperature at 1 atm, it is given this much, that is 1.38 into 10 to the power of minus 3 moles per liter. Calculate the concentration of gas at the concentration of the gas at the pressure of 0.21. It's very simple. So first of all, we need here that the concentration is equal to Kh into partial pressure. Now K is equal to, or Kh is equal to, it is given by C divided by P. And here the concentration is given by 1.38 into 10 to the power of minus 3 moles per liter, divided by, we have here 1 atmospheric pressure here. And we get the Kh value, that is 1.38 into 10 to the power of minus 3. I think you know the unit for this. This becomes here mole per liter per ATM. Okay. Now, here once we got the Kh value, we can find the concentration of the gas at the pressure 0.21 atm. Therefore, concentration is equal to, that is Kh into P. That is equal to Kh, we got the value this much, that is 1.38 into 10 to the power of minus 3 into the pressure we have here, that is 0.21, that is equal to, we get here 2.9 into 10 to the power of minus 4 moles per liter. This is the concentration of the oxygen gas dissolved at the pressure of 0.21. You just observe here that how it is changed. Here at 1 atm, this is 10 to the power of minus 3 amount of moles per liter is dissolved. As you decrease the pressure, the amount is also decreased. It is of the 10 to the power of minus 4, or I can write this one as 0.29 into 10 to the power of minus 3 moles per liter. Check the value. It is so much less as compared to the first one here. Okay student, this is all about the Henry's law. A few more things are there related to the Henry's law that we will discuss in the next class or next video.